It's very hard not to believe the Bank of Japan, despite some reluctance, will at the very end cave in and provide more support to the economy. Adolfo Laurenti, BOJ Safra Sarasin. An advisor to Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said that the Bank of Japan will likely take more bold action next month. Do you believe this is likely, and what type of action do you believe we will see?
We believe it's very likely that the Bank of Japan will take more action in coming weeks and months. We have seen very disappointing numbers in terms of GDP growth. At the very same time, inflation has failed to respond, in partly because of the impact of the appreciating yen on Japanese exports. So given these pictures, it's very hard not to believe that the Bank of Japan, despite some reluctance, will at the very end cave in and provide more support to the economy, most likely in form of an expanded QE program. I do not know if they will go as far as to do a true helicopter money policy, but definitely there will be more asset purchases coming from the Bank of Japan, both in terms of government bonds and probably some private bonds. They are already expanding their ETF, so it's more likely that some more on that front will come. We do not believe it will be much in terms of negative rates. There seems to be some misgivings within the Bank of Japan on that front, but definitely asset purchases are in the cards.
Japan's exports fell in July at the fastest pace since the global financial crisis, with a strong yen adding to the challenge of weak external markets. Do you see this situation improving in the future?
Not really. In our assessment, what is really holding back Japanese export is the strength of the yen, and that's really driven by domestic conditions on financial markets. We do not anticipate any strong rally in China. China is probably continue to chug along the current path. Things may get better in the rest of the world, but it's really hard to imagine a reacceleration of world growth such as to be supportive for Japanese export given the strength of the yen. So it's really the value of the currency that is becoming crucial, and that's why we ultimately believe the Bank of Japan will take more action. They need to counter the current appreciation to give some space for exporters to grow.
The Nikkei Flash Japan Manufacturing PMI came in at 49.6 in August of 2016. Although this was the 6th month of contraction in factory activity, it was the smallest drop since March and slightly above consensus. Does this indicate a potential recovery in manufacturing for Japan?
I'm afraid it does not. I think what ultimately will make a difference will be a depreciation of the yen, and it will mostly be export-driven. Another possible factor to relaunch the Japanese economy may be the stimulus package that has been announced by Prime Minister Abe. The details have been not clear for a while, but it's probably going to contribute to growth in the near future. As far as the PMI number that you have mentioned is concerned, I am not very optimistic. You can read it as glass half full or half empty. I would tend to see it as half empty. This is like the 6 months where PMI is contracting, and I really do not see a shift in momentum despite the fact that it beat the expectation in August. So I think we have more to go to really see a rekindling of economic activity in Japan.
Thank you for joining us today, Adolfo. That's all from myself, Celeste Skinner, but keep watching for everything else happening on the FX market.